Multifamily Mindset
podcast. Think bigger.
All right, aloha and welcome to another episode here on the Multifamily Mindset with Jackson Campbell. Tyler Deveraux, you meditating over there?
I was, dude. I was just giving a little bow as we got started here, dude.
I like this.
It felt right. Yeah.
Sending good vibes out to all y'all out there on
Yes.
YouTube or on Spotify or on Apple. But if you're listening to it on an Android, we're still sending aloha your way because it's Aloha Friday, man. And Jay, what are we talking about today, my dude?
We're gonna talk
my
about
bro, my dude, my guy.
We're gonna talk about a lot of things. No, not a lot of things. We're gonna talk specifically on gratitude, right? Thanksgiving's coming up. Tis the season to be grateful. You know, Thanksgiving, November. It really does. It's awesome. It's awesome. It gives us that time to sit in gratitude. So I wanted to talk about the gratitude. We're going to talk about gratitude and some wins, some MFM and MFCP wins from this past year. But before we dive into questions and stuff, is there anything that you want to just start off the gate when it comes to gratitude?
My dude Mark Pitts said something the other day that I'm going to drop right here. He said,
Shout out, Mark.
Yeah, shout out Pitty. He said, man, you know what? He said, you know what I realized? I realized that gratitude or grateful comes before great in the dictionary. He said, if you look at it, they're spelled differently, right? One's G-R-A, the other one's G-R-E. Mm-hmm. And he's like, why is that? He's like, because if you're going to be great, you have to be grateful.
Like that.
If you're going to be great, first you have to be grateful.
Yeah.
Right? That's why gratitude or grateful precedes greatness in the dictionary.
Yeah,
and I
like
thought that
that.
was awesome.
I like that.
That was awesome because, man, gratitude is a life hack. Absolute life hack.
Ty, how are you grateful before you can be great? What do you break that down just a little bit? Maybe we can go just a layer deeper there. What do you mean by that?
If you're going to be great at anything, it takes energy. It takes energy. Energy is a currency, right? It's the most important thing that we have because it can, and it's a tool, if you will, right? Energy is a tool, and gratitude is one of the most powerful forms of energy that we have, right? So here's what gratitude does for me and how it helps me become great. Greatness also requires struggle, challenges, problems, issues, because those things force you to grow, right? If you're going to grow, growth comes from overcoming challenges. That's what happens.
Absolutely.
So if you can be grateful in those circumstances, grateful for the situation, grateful for the challenge, your mind will be open enough to grow in that situation.
Yeah.
And once again, greatness requires growth. That's what happens. But you can only grow if you can truly find gratitude within whatever it is you're experiencing, because that gratitude is going to give you the energy to push through and continue through to the greatness that is in you. Yeah.
Dude, that's so good. That's so good. Ty, oftentimes challenges come, and it's very hard to be grateful in the moment of the challenge. Right? So as we're sitting here talking about this, I think, how can you be great? You have to be grateful before you can be great. And if you're grateful for these challenges, you can also look at them to take ownership for them too. You know what I mean? It's a new opportunity to look at a challenge, take ownership of it, and then, like you're saying, it's only through those challenges that you can become better and grow.
That's it.
So, dude, no, I love how.
Well, dude, why is the challenge there? Like, if you really dissect that.
Yeah. Why is the challenge there?
And because when you say take ownership for it, you're truly owning the outcome from the challenge. You're not owning what caused the challenge. Well, you could be owning what caused the challenge. That's beautiful too.
Yeah.
But really, it's responsible. You're taking responsibility, meaning that you're the one who's going to make it better. Yeah. Right? But why is the challenge there? I believe that the challenge is there to truly help you become the person that you are, that is within you, that you would never be able to become. Sorry, I'm losing my voice here a little bit. Just got back from a Tony Robbins event, which means I got no voice, But those challenges are going to bring out the person in you that would have never been able to be brought out had the challenge not been there. So sometimes I literally believe it's not punishment, right? In fact, Inky Johnson says it's not punishment, it's preparation.
Yeah.
God is truly preparing you to continue to grow, to do bigger and better heights.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Think about the challenges in your life that you've experienced already. Challenges, times that you've sat back and you're like, that you have felt like, God, this is a struggle, this is a challenge, and then now use that gift of reflection to look back and realize that those are actually a blessing. Those are actually what got you to your current version of yourself. And so if you can just have that perspective in the moment of the current challenge, you can remember and realize that this is actually a blessing. Even though you may not see it here, it's a blessing for your long-term good. And if you can focus on that, man, you can get through anything.
Yeah, so good. So good. Ty, thank you for breaking that down right off the bat. I love how we just jumped into that, dude. These first few questions kind of, it's almost like we're doing the Hawaiian value at the beginning of the episode.
Okay.
Because it goes in line with what we're talking about today. So the first question is like, what does mahalo mean to you and the Hawaiian culture, and why? And yeah, why do you talk about mahalo a lot? We talk about mahalo a lot, not only on the podcast. We talk about it internally in the company a lot, being grateful. But why? What does that mean to you and Hawaiian culture, and why do you like to make that such a focal point in the companies?
It's so easy to be grateful, to live mahalo when things are going great. Like, that shit's easy. Yeah. Everyone's grateful. Everyone is joyful when things are going great. I look at mahalo as a way of life. It's literally a way of life. Like, even when challenges occur, even when struggles come, even when, dude, things don't go the way you want them to go, you're still grateful. Like, it's a way of life. It's a choice. It's a decision that you've made to live your life that way, period. So what that does, though, is when you're grateful, fear and frustration are removed. You can't feel grateful. Think about it right now, man. You cannot feel grateful and fearful at the same time. You can't live mahalo and have frustration at the same time. You literally cannot do that. So in the moment of fear and frustration, and if you can live mahalo, live that principle, fear and frustration are replaced with abundant possibility. Yeah. And now, instead of being frustrated or fearful of whatever challenge is there, you're grateful for the abilities and for the skills and for the tools and the resources of the team members or whatever that it is that you have to help you through the challenge. Yeah. You just direct your focus on the gratitude to get you through instead of the despair that's going to keep you back, you know?
Yeah. Over this past year, do you have an example of how you've been able to do that in your life?
Fucking every day. Goddamn. But yes, dude. I mean, I don't know how much detail I want to get into some, but yes, dude. There's every lots of challenges, man. There's lots of challenges. There's challenges on properties. There's challenges with team members. Mm-hmm. There's challenges with partners. There's challenges, man. Growth isn't easy. Like, I was just on a phone call right now, and right before we got into this. Mm-hmm. And this wasn't planned, you know, but like we get done with that call, and at the end of that call, I said, "Hey, I'm built for this shit." And they kind of laughed, like they're kind of like, "Oh yeah," you know. And I was like, "No." I texted him immediately right after we hung up, and I was like, "No, I'm fucking serious. I'm built for this shit." Like, the things that you see, like when we just have this conversation and you see my eyes get watery, it's not because of despair. It's because I'm freaking grateful, man. Yeah. It's because I am grateful for the tools, the skills, the unique things that I have to help push through everything, whatever it is. Like, I'm grateful for that. And I'm also grateful because I see that you see that in me. And listen, man, when challenges are there, sometimes we think that everyone out there is seeing you in a light that, you know, is not how you see yourself and not who you know you are. And so when you see people that see you, right? Aloha, see you. You're grateful for that, man. But I live my life in a way of gratitude, and no matter what the situation, no matter what the circumstance, dude, we're pushing through or we're moving through because I have the ability to do that, you know?
Dude, so good. So good. Thank you for sharing that, bro. As we kind of move forward down this episode, we did want to talk about some MFCP and MFM wins. Is there any big wins this year that you...
Can I just say one thing?
Yeah, absolutely.
I actually believe this principle that we're talking about is the principle that will make or break people. Gratitude, dude. It will make or break people. It's crazy to me, man, from, like, you talk about things, you ask, is there anything that you've used specifically for, you know, gratitude that will help you overcome challenges?
It's a hot question. It was a hot question.
But literally, like, every day, like, legit every day, man. But what's crazy to me is I see people that will be working on a deal, and they'll have a challenge, or they'll be working on a project and have a challenge, or they'll be working on whatever and have a challenge. And it's like, and then they just get spiteful. They get angry. They start to look for people to blame. I just don't have time for that shit. Like, I literally, there are a few things that I despise more than that. And I see it within our network. I see, dude, you see it all over the world, dude. It's literally, it's just.
It's the easiest, most comfortable thing for people to do a lot of the times. It's exactly that.
It's exactly it, dude. Do you want to know why? Because then it's not their fault.
Right.
Then they don't have to do shit.
Right.
But if you're grateful, I want to be very clear. If you're grateful, that means you're doing shit. Mm-hmm. That means you realize that you have the ability to go do shit. So gratitude, really the biggest form of gratitude is action.
Yes. Couldn't agree more.
Right.
Couldn't agree more. So I just want to share an example from this past year, something that I've realized gratitude in my own life, and how gratitude truly is an action, and how if you take action on those things that you're grateful for, they flourish, they grow, they just become a stronger focal point in your life. And I talk about that with my health. I'm very grateful for my body.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A lot of people might think that that's a little bit crazy. Now, I guess no one will think that's crazy that I'm grateful for my body. But what I mean by that is I'm grateful that I have 2 legs that can get me up in the morning, that I have a brain that functions, that I can have a conversation with you, mm-hmm. that I've been able to do the things that I've been able to do in my life. But if I'm truly grateful, then I take care of my body. Mm-mm. And every single day that I do that I take care of my body, that I take steps towards having better health, I prove to myself that I'm grateful. So as we're talking about gratitude in here, that's the question or the challenge that I would like to give to everybody is, how are you proving that you're grateful for the things that you say you're grateful for? What actions are you taking to actually prove to yourself, prove to the universe, prove to God, the powers that be, that you're truly grateful for that thing that you say you're grateful for?
What actions are you
taking? What
are
you doing to prove your gratitude?
Yeah.
So, and the more that you do that, and the more that you become conscious of that, the more that you can grow whatever that skill set is that you're trying to grow.
Yeah.
And it just gives you a better perspective of, man, I'm here. And what it really does too for me is it puts me in reality of whatever the situation is. I'm grateful that I'm here. I'm grateful that I have so much to still overcome. I'm grateful for what I have already overcame. But it puts you in reality. It puts you centered, and it puts you right there. With whatever it is.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like that, dude. I mean, grateful for what you've overcome already, and grateful for what you're about to overcome.
And what you've proved to yourself that you can overcome now.
Yeah.
Because you've stayed consistent, right? It's good. Yeah, that's been my big takeaway this year on gratitude.
I love it.
Is that it's consistent action towards the thing you're grateful for, not just one-time action towards it, right?
Nah. So, dude, let's talk about that, man.
Yeah.
Because there's two massive things that I feel like I can do that will that help me overcome challenges in the moment with gratitude. 2 things. Okay. Number 1 is positive self-talk. Positive self-talk.
Yeah, dude.
Right?
Yeah.
Man, who's ready to think bigger? Listen, Peak Partnership is almost here. It's going to be here very fast, and you need to be there. Okay, you need to join us in Orlando, Florida, March 21st through 23rd, 2024, for the biggest and baddest real estate event that you've been to. Yeah, we're talking lots of networking, lots of inspiration, people like David Goggins, Jim Quick, Jamie Kern-Lima, your boy Tyler Deveraux, and a ton more than that. You're going to connect with multifamily professionals that will teach you and show you how to build generational wealth, transform your family legacy with multifamily real estate, and that's all happening at Peak Partnership 2024. It's the 3rd time we're doing this event. Now listen, this one will be the biggest one yet, and I will promise you this, you do not want to miss out. So go to peakpartnership.com, reserve your seat. You can click the link in the description to register as well. Can't wait to see you there.
Tyler, how have you embraced the challenges this past year that have been thrown at you?
Yeah.
It seems like every year that I've been with you, it's been like 5 years now that we've been working together.
It's nuts, dude.
It's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
But every year that we've grown, that you've grown, there's been new challenges that come. Dude, so how have you embraced the new challenges 5, 6, 7, 8 years down the multifamily road that have been thrown at you this year?
Well, I think it's a great thing for people to recognize, because sometimes I think people, and it's my fault, dude. It's my fault that people don't see this, because social media displays a current or a certain viewpoint, right? Which is, dude, I control my social media, so that's like, I get it. But it's like they only see the positive things. But I want to hone in on what you just said. Over all the years we've been working together, every year there's challenges.
And they seem to get more difficult and more like bigger and bigger. Not difficult. Difficult's not the right word to use.
Bigger. Yes.
Yeah.
Because the challenges don't get smaller. You just get bigger. Challenges get bigger, but so do you, right?
Yeah.
So how do you approach them or, embrace them? It's literally what we've talked about, which is just it's gratitude. That's the gratitude side of things. Because you're going to face challenges. You're going to have them. Like, expect them. I think people's biggest problem is they expect that they or think that they shouldn't have problems. That's a problem. You're going to have them.
Yeah.
But dude, the adversity, that's not what's going to define you. It's how you respond, right, to the adversity that will define you. Like, dude, life is chock full of highs, lows, challenges, but once again, all of those are opportunities to grow. So if you really look at those challenges, those highs, those lows, those challenges as opportunities to grow, then you're grateful for that, man. And I'm grateful for the challenges because they've helped prepare me for the bigger ones that you just talked about, right? They've helped prepare me for the bigger ones that I've just talked about. So how do I overcome challenges? How do I overcome them? There's a couple things that I do. First is your perspective of the challenge, like we just talked about.
I think
I would put that number one.
I think that's so important, dude. Inky Johnson talked about it on the podcast you did with him. It's not punishment, it's preparation.
Yes.
And then also Dallas always talks about it too on the Daily Drip. Life's happening for you, not to you.
Yes.
These things are happening for you.
Dude, and that's a Tony principle, man. That's a Tony Robbins principle. Like, he talked about that multiple times at the event. And it's just powerful to really frame it that way, to put your perspective on it. Like, dude, God's preparing you, man. God is preparing you. It's crazy because he had this conversation with this lady during the event. It's Unleash the Power Within event. And she talked about her parents, and there's a lot of things that they talked about, but he said ultimately, her mom's an alcoholic and all these kind of things. Okay, we don't need to get in the details, but he said something I thought was so very powerful. He said, do you believe that those challenges and those things that you've seen make you more grateful and joyful in the moment because you know that you're strong enough to overcome those things? Like, and you see, because you've seen so much despair, it makes you very acutely aware to all the joy. And she was like, all of a sudden you saw her light up, and he was like, well, yeah, yes, yeah. That's so true. It's like these challenges, as long as we frame them with a perspective of growth, gratitude, like it's for us, it's not a punishment. Dude, it breeds something in you that is so powerful. Mm-hmm. You're training yourself on how to react to certain things at every moment of your life. You're literally training yourself. So how do you react, right, when something comes? Are you training yourself to complain? Are you training yourself to point the finger? Or are you training yourself to double down, find what's beneficial about that, and move forward?
Mm-hmm. Take the good out of it.
Literally, there's good in everything if you can find it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
A positive within any negative, right?
Always.
So I would say number one is your perspective of it. How do you frame the situation? Mm-hmm. How do you frame the circumstance? How do you frame the challenge? Is it a detriment, or is it a tool for your growth, right? Which really comes in at number two, because number two is positive self-talk. And that's the narrative in your head. Like, that's the narrative in your head. Like, is the narrative in your head, is it solution-based or is it fear-based? And I would really challenge you to look at that. Like, you have to literally sell yourself. The most important sell that you will ever make is selling yourself in the direction of whatever it is you're looking to go. Abundance. Yes. Yeah. Solutions, abundance, growth. Like that, dude, you're not stuck.
Right.
You're only stuck if you continue to play a narrative in your head that is a fearful narrative that tells you that you're stuck. Mm-hmm. That's it.
Dude, Carol Dweck's book, Mindset, where she breaks down scarcity and abundance. Essentially what you're talking about right here. Mm-hmm. When those challenges do pop up, are you going to be abundant to know that you're capable of overcoming those challenges? Mm-hmm. Are you grateful for a new test to be able to use all the new skill sets that you've been able to learn from your past challenges? So it's that positive self-talk is a huge thing. So that's a great resource. If you have a hard time with choosing the positive, go read that book by Carol Dweck. It's such a good one to help.
Talking about her mindset book.
Yeah.
It's a phenomenal book,
so
dude.
good.
Phenomenal book. I like how you said that. You said abundance, that you're
Scarcity.
capable.
Yeah, abundance that you're capable.
This is beautiful. That you're capable, man.
Yeah.
And that by overcoming this, it will not only make you more capable, but it'll make you more capable to get you out of future situations, but more capable to help other people out of challenging situations.
Totally.
It's beautiful.
Totally. It's almost like a framework that you learn as you pop up with, like, each individual person learns how they overcome challenges, right? By being positive, by having that abundant mentality. And each time, like you're saying, each time you do it, you recognize those patterns in yourself to overcome those problems.
Totally.
So it makes it easier to overcome those next problems that come down the pipe.
But you know what I think it is, bro? Is my identity, dude. My identity is I'm a leader. That's my identity.
Yeah.
I'm not waiting for anybody else to come save me.
Right.
I'm the leader that's going to save others. And that doesn't mean a title. That means a way of life as well. Gratitude's a way of life. Being a leader is a way of life. Like, I'm not going to wait for someone to come save. I'm that person who has to, dude, who has to have the perspective. That's how I take it. Like, I believe that if people can have that perspective, that identity, man, they will blow themselves away of what they can achieve and accomplish and help other people do the same thing.
So true.
But dude, it's not, you need a lot more than positive self-talk. Like, affirmation without execution is just delusion, right? You actually need action. So number 3 is consistent effort that we just talked about. You need consistent effort. Like, in times of challenge, most people stack their doubts. They stack their doubt on the future. What's going to happen, the fear, whatever. But in times of challenge, you cannot stack your doubts. You have to stack your proof. You have to stack your proof. And proof doesn't come from just talking. Proof comes from fucking doing, dude. Like, that's what separates, dude. The difference between a professional and somebody who's an amateur are those who are successful and those who aren't, right? Is stepping up and showing up when you don't feel like it. Stepping up and showing up meaning you're doing it consistently. Yep. Like, achievers, they honor their commitments. Period. Others let shit get in the way, whatever that is. Themselves get in the way, situation get in the way, fears get in the way, inconvenience get in the way. Achievers know, and this I think is huge as well, but achievers also know what they're working on and why they're working on it. We talk about what our why is, meaning, what I mean by that is they have meaning and purpose. Like, we talk about what our why is. I believe you need to have a why attached to every aspect of your life. Like, why do you want to take care of your physical body? Why do you want to take care of your finances? Why do you want, whatever these goals are that you have, you need to have a why attached to all of them. Why? Like, what is it? Because when a challenge comes up in that situation, if you don't know why you're doing what you're doing, you can't just have one overarching why, dude. You have to have a why attached to it. Everything that you're pursuing and doing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, and along those same lines that we were talking about earlier, consistent action, consistent effort, right? That will enhance your identity. And your identity is everything, man. Like, we've talked about going to the gym, and you go to the gym and you want to, your goal is to go every day. That's what you said you're going to do. Sometimes you may feel like shit, man, but you show up, you spend 5 minutes there. It's not going to do a ton for your overall fitness, but it'll absolutely shape your identity.
Yeah.
Same thing with your business, dude. Like, going in and consistently working on your business. 5 minutes spent on your business might not change the business, but it will absolutely reaffirm your identity, which, by the way, will also help with positive self-talk.
Yep.
All those things start to spiral in a positive momentum, right? Your perspective of the situation, how you frame it in your mind, your positive self-talk, and then your consistent actions, that will keep you moving forward to achieve things that, once again, where others stay stuck, where others freaking give up, where others start to bitch about other people, where others start to bitch about the situation, dude, you're already fucking light years past them because you're moving. Why? Because you have a skill set, and that skill set is simple. Perspective, self-talk, action, period.
It's such a good framework for gratitude, dude. It's such a good framework.
What do those things do? Those things create gratitude. I love that you just said that, because those things equal gratitude. Why? Because you're moving.
And it makes it so much easier to be grateful then too.
Yeah.
When you are moving, it is like you're saying, dude. It's a momentum thing. It's a snowball type of effect. And even in those days when you don't want to, you got to get up and do it.
Especially in those days.
Today was one of those days for me. I think I bitched and complained in my head my entire 10 miles on my bike ride today. I just complained the entire time, but I got it done. And afterwards, I was like, "Gosh, I'm so glad that I did that." And there was some reassurance that I made the right choice, right? So, no, you have to continue to do that every single day, even when you don't want to.
Totally.
Ty, as we wrap up here, this episode, I love the take that we've gone here on gratitude. Is there any other things that you want to highlight here as we wrap up this gratitude episode?
I mean, nothing off the top of my head.
Okay. Yeah. Well, thank you. I'm grateful for you. I'm super grateful for you and the abilities that you have and the time and effort that you put into this podcast. It doesn't go unnoticed, my man. It's making an impact on a lot of people, including myself.
Hey,
so I'm grateful for you, bro.
Appreciate that, man.
Very
Vice
grateful.
versa. There is something I wanted to say. I should have said, I'm grateful for you. That's what I wanted to say.
No, I appreciate that.
Rewind it. Let's cut that out. And I want you to ask that question again. I'm going to say it before you do.
No, too late.
Nico said now would be a great time to loop in just the fund for the fires that we're doing. Because, man, it's still happening out here.
Oh, yeah. Still a lot of people affected.
Lots of people affected, man. Yeah. And so one thing I'm grateful for all y'all who have donated to the fires and the impact that has made and will continue to make. And those of you who have or have not, there's still an opportunity too. And, man, the island of Maui could definitely still use your help. So we'll put the link in the description. And, man, hit that link if you're feeling so called to do. Hit that link, man, and donate. Once again, there's lots of families out here that could use, the blessing that you have to give them, and we'll be grateful for it. That's for sure.
Yeah, definitely. And if there's even I'll even say this, I'll put this out there. If you want to ship in anything like school materials, leftover, it is Christmas. If you want to ship in anything, please feel free to ship it to the Maui office, and we can make sure that we get those to the people in need for sure.
Totally, man. Tim Olson, I don't know if you know this, but Tim Olson shipped in a bunch of tablets.
That's awesome.
For Pax's school. Because
awesome.
Pax's school, a bunch of the kids from Lahaina coming out of Pax's school, and they don't have.
They lost everything.
They lost everything.
Yeah.
And so he shipped in, I can't remember exactly how many, but it was a big deal, man. So shout out to Tim Olson. That made a huge impact on that school, man.
That's
made
awesome.
A huge impact.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Kamali'i Elementary, man.
Yeah.
Made a huge impact. So appreciate you, bro. Tim's part of our network. Probably an avid listener of the podcast.
Yeah.
I appreciate you, bro.
Thank
So,
you.
yes.
Yes, thank you for that. It doesn't, so grateful. Ty, as we wrap up here, I guess our Hawaiian value we covered at the beginning,
100%.
which is mahalo, my man.
Yeah.
So if you want to just send us out, I think
Yeah.
we're good to go.
Which is just that, man. Just November is such a beautiful month. Number one, because of Movember, mustache November. You get it. Jackson, I see your mustache.
It never goes away. It's
Oh,
here
just
year-round.
begging people for a ride over there.
Handlebars.
By people, I mean Courtney, his wife.
My wife. Yep.
What about?
Oh, yeah, you're looking good.
Thank you, my
Yep,
mustache,
yep.
Brittany. I got you, B. Okay. But man, also just because it's a month of gratitude, and what a beautiful month! Like what a beautiful thing to celebrate each month. So my challenge to you is to write down those things that you're grateful for. Write them down, but feel them. You should write them down every single day, man. That's how I start my morning every day.
And then my addition to that challenge is then ask yourself what you're doing to be grateful for those things, to show gratitude for those
Which I
things.
love that add-on, bro. Love that.
Yeah, what's
Okay?
Nico's challenge?
Nico has a challenge.
We need to get you a mic.
What are you giving every day?
What are you giving every day?
I like that.
Be a smile.
It could be a smile.
How are you?
How are you? Yeah.
Simple things.
Can I tell you that I love that so much, dude? Because that is one of the biggest things that I recognized and noticed at Tony's event. It was just this. The environment there was beautiful, meaning everyone there. You guys know, I'm very like when I go to networking events or just events. Sometimes I'm like I'm in my own little chill. That is not staying in your own Shell is not even, it's not, you're not going to do that there.
You can't.
You're not going to do that there.
Yeah.
Like you walk in and everyone's dancing and they have you, they're hugging and you're high-fiving. And when you first get there, it seems like a little bit weird, but it's actually beautiful. It's so beautiful. You break down tons of barriers and you connect at a level with people that isn't possible without that. Because you know what? All of a sudden you become grateful for those people. You become grateful to be in the environment. You become grateful. And gratitude, once again, is a life hack. So my friends, write down what you're grateful for. Ask yourself, what actions are you taking to show that you're grateful?
Yeah.
And then ask yourself also, what are you doing to give? The giving can be so simple. It can be smiles. It can be hugs. It can be mustache rides if you're Jackson.
For Courtney.
Thanks for clarifying. For Courtney, he says in the background. Whatever it is, man, give, because that is a sure way to feel grateful. If you are giving, you are inevitably going to feel grateful. And I feel grateful today because I feel like we just gave y'all some fucking gold in your eardrums, in your ear holes. So you're welcome. If you do feel grateful, an action that I would challenge you to take is to go share this with other people. That's a way for you to not only say what you're grateful for, share and take an action, but also give that opportunity to others. Woo! Did you see how we tied all that shit in? That wasn't even planned. Oh, my damn. Hey, grateful for you as well. Hope you have an amazing Thanksgiving with your families. And just know that we are cheering you on. We're grateful for you. And we know that you're going to be living always aloha. Peace. Multifamily Mindset. Podcast. Think bigger.